everybody. Welcome to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. It's 3 o'clock on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I'm your GoLocal Live host, Rachel Nunes. And first this hour, we have the Executive Director of the Southern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Elizabeth Berman. Welcome to the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for having me.
So let's start. Tell us a little bit about the Chamber. What do you guys do?
Sure. So we are a member-based business organization. We work to promote businesses within the Southern Rhode Island area, and we help them with everything from marketing to networking, exposure, continuing education, all sorts of different.
And how does one become a member? Do they reach out to you or do you reach out to them?
It's a combination of both, really. So we do active outreach to reach out to new businesses in our community, but we also have people that search us out and find us as well. It's a very easy process to become a member of the Chamber, and I encourage everybody to join chambers all over the state. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to help grow your business.
And for those of us looking for things to do, the Chamber is a great place to start for that.
We are. So not only do we help local businesses succeed, but we're a great tourist information hub. So all of our members can reach out to us, and they post events on our websites. We have a very, very extensive calendar of events for things happening all over Southern Rhode Island.
And so what are some of the events coming up for the rest of this summer?
We have a lot, honestly. We have a lot. I'm only going to touch on a few today because we are limited in time. But if you do go to our website, which is srichamber.com, we have a full list of all of the events with all of the details as well. But one of the ones that's coming up very soon is the Kingston Chamber Music Festival.
Oh, great. Tell us a little bit about that.
They're celebrating their 30th anniversary this year, so we're really, really excited to help promote that for them. And the festival will be taking place from July 25th to August 5th, and you can catch their shows at the URI Fine Arts Center right in Kingston, Rhode Island.
Great. And what kind of musicians can we expect there?
So it's all chamber music, so you know, your classical kind of music. So if that's something you're really interested in, they have a whole variety of different performers that are coming. I was actually looking at their website before we came in today, and there are a lot of different performers that they're going to have.
Sounds very interesting. And what else do we have coming up?
Sure. So we have one of our chambers that we love to work with so much is the Charlestown Chamber of Commerce. They're right next door to us, and they have their annual seafood festival coming up. It's always the first weekend in August, so it's going to take place August 3rd to the 5th over at Ninigret Park in Charlestown.
Sounds like a lot of fun. What can we expect there?
So all things seafood. It is a seafood festival, of course, so there's going to be a lot of really great food from local restaurateurs down in Southern Rhode Island, but they also have fireworks, live music, games, rides, all sorts of different things. Great family fun for the weekend.
And so you mentioned the Charlestown Chamber of Commerce. Does each town have its own, or are you guys a blanket for all of Southern Rhode Island?
Not necessarily. So some towns have them, some towns do not. Some are more regional like ours. We're Southern Rhode Island, so we cover South Kingstown and Exeter, Richmond, and we go into a few other communities as well, and so do some of the other chambers. So it kind of depends on the area.
And you have the Rhythm and Roots Festival coming up.
We do. Yes, we love Rhythm and Roots. Again, that's taking place at Ninigret Park over in Charlestown. That one happens Labor Day weekend every year, and it's one of my favorite things to do in Southern Rhode Island because it's a lot more local. Some of the, by Labor Day weekend, a lot of the tourists have gone, so it's like we get our town back, and Rhythm and Roots is a great way to celebrate that.
And for someone who's never been, what kind of things can you expect there? Of course, there's a lot of there's Zydeco music and
there's a little bit of everything.
There's a little bit of everything.
There really is. You can definitely find something that you like there. There's, like you said, folk music and jazz music and really just a little bit of everything. And they're always changing it as well. So the festival has definitely changed over the years. So even if you've been in the past, go back. You'll find new musicians, new vendors there selling really fun things. And it's just a great day in Southern Rhode Island.
And what else is coming up?
Sure. So our Wakefield Village Merchants, which is our chamber is located in South Kingstown. We have a great merchants association, the Wakefield Village Merchants, and they put on a lot of really, really great events this summer. They do River Fire every Thursday night from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So that's continuing to go on, and we'll have it every Thursday through the end of the summer.
So like a small water fire.
Exactly. Water fire South Kingstown style, which is just so much fun. And they have local vendors, and they're always doing different things. Last weekend they did a local car show, antique car show. So they're always switching it up. They had a lantern parade as well. So each river fire has its own mini event within it. And again, all of that information is on our website for more details. But their big event is coming up. It's called the Endless Summer Event, and it happens on Main Street in Wakefield on August 16th. There is live music. We have Moana sing-alongs for the kids, face painting, food, drinks, all sorts of really fun things. A giant volcano, whatever they can round up.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It really is.
A giant volcano?
Yes. Giant volcano. It is exactly what it sounds like. It is the entrance to Endless Summer. And it's just a great way for everybody to come together and just enjoy the beauty of Southern Rhode Island.
And there's a lot of things to offer. I know when a lot of people, they think Southern Rhode Island, they think the beaches, they think Narragansett, but you guys, you're a great way to show some of the other things you can do.
Oh, absolutely. So Southern Rhode Island is just this really amazing gem. There's live theater. We have Theater by the Sea. We have the Contemporary Theater Company and the Courthouse Center for the Arts, all in South Kingstown. So you can really, get all the amenities of the big city down in South County, which is really nice.
That's true. And what would you say to someone who says, I'm not really sure what I want to do this weekend? What kind of things would you suggest to them?
I usually suggest things that take them away from the beach. So everyone knows we have our beaches, of course, but we really want them to see what makes South County so remarkable. And it's all of our local small businesses, really. They do such a phenomenal job of tapping into the history and the culture that we have in Southern Rhode Island. And, we have our live music, we have award-winning restaurants, we have bike trails and nature trails and all sorts of preserved lands that is just so beautiful. Narrow River Kayaks does guided moonlight tours on Narrow River.
Of fun.
It really is, so there's so many different things that you can do. And usually I say stop by the chamber so we can map out your whole weekend for you.
And so do you guys help pretty much anyone can you help put someone on the right path? Like, let's say they were looking for dining or shopping or hiking. Could you help with pretty much anything, or do you have more of a specialized approach?
In the summer, we are vacation planners, 100% vacation planners, and we can tell you from breakfast to dinner to late night where you should be spending your time to make sure that you see all of the really great things that we have in Southern Rhode Island, because some of them are hidden. You're not just going to turn down a street and find something. You really have to know where you're going in South County.
That's true.
So we like to be able to say, stop by the chamber and we will map out your day for you, include all the really amazing stops that we have.
And so, of course, summer's the high season with tourists and all that, but do you continue to do events throughout the year as well?
Oh, absolutely. We like to say that September is for the locals in South County. Most of the tourists end up going back, and the beaches are nice and calm, the ocean's nice and warm. All of the summer spots are still open in September, so that tends to be our spot. The Narragansett Chamber of Commerce is actually doing a calamari festival in September, right over by Narragansett Town Beach. Again, music and food and just kind of all things South County that you would expect there. So September tends to be, we take it back for us.
That's the locals' time. So locals should check out the Chamber of Commerce as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's so funny. We'll have people stop in. They say, I've lived here for 30 years, but I've never stopped in. Or I've lived here for 10 years and I've never stopped in. And then they get a wealth of information once they do, which we just want to help people, and we want to give people all the information that we have in our office.
That's true. A lot of hidden gems.
Yes.
And sometimes when you live somewhere, you don't necessarily appreciate all of the great things you have around you, just because you don't think to take the time to go out and explore.
You don't act like a tourist in your own town usually.
Exactly.
You don't.
Exactly.
One of the things that we have coming up, actually one of the events that our chamber is hosting in October, is the Taste of Southern Rhode Island, which is one of our biggest events of the year. And we bring in all the local restaurants, liquor stores, distilleries, breweries, and everyone offers a sample of what they would like to highlight going into the slower season, into their winter months. So if you're thinking about coming down to South County and you don't really know where to go, this is a chance where you can sample just about all of the restaurants
everything.
in one spot, which is just perfect, and it's so much fun. We do it at beautiful Clark Farms in Matunic, Rhode Island, and it's just picture perfect.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And events like this, are they generally, do you buy your tickets ahead of time? Do you buy tickets at the door? Are they free admission?
They're all a little different depending on the event. So for the Taste of Southern Rhode Island, we have sold out every year. So I highly recommend that you get your tickets ahead of time because we will not have tickets at the door. But they're all a little different. So I would definitely recommend going to our website, srichamber.com, and looking at the specific event, because on our website we have all the details about ticketing, parking, all that information.
Great. And is there any other events that are coming up? Anything?
Absolutely.
Anything else?
We always have things going on. There's so much. In October, part of the Taste of Southern Rhode Island, we're actually adding a second night for the first year, and we're going to have the band Sugar over at Clark Farms, which is a local treasure of ours. We're really, really excited to do that. So we'll have the taste on a Thursday evening, and then live music, dancing under a giant, beautiful tent under the stars in Matunic on the Friday evening as well. And we're very, very excited about that event. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. And so can people just stop by, or would you recommend they went on the website?
I would definitely go on the website. Get your tickets early, really, for all of these events, because that way you know what to expect, you have all the information, you're not walking in blind, and you can make sure that you get a ticket and you can get in.
And of course, we have all sorts of other events coming up. I know you mentioned the Blessing of the Fleet's coming up.
Blessing of the Fleet is this weekend, so it's a huge one. Not only is it a seafood festival and a race, but it's just a great, great time over in the Narragansett Pier. The Blessing of the Fleet is amazing. If you are just planning on traveling through, there will be a lot of traffic, so you have been warned.
Avoid the area.
Yes,
if you're not going to the festival.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Avoid the area if you're not going to the festival. But we have a few other members that do really, really fun things, like Sons of Liberty. They're a local whiskey. They started off distilling whiskey, and they have branched out into so many different things. My favorite drink of the summer is the Loyal Lemonade. If you haven't had it, it is absolutely delicious. But they do food truck nights at their distillery on Thursdays. So they have 2 more coming up for the summer on August 9th and September 13th. If you haven't gotten down to Sons of Liberty, the place is just amazing. I'm not a big whiskey fan. They have made the most delicious whiskey cocktails. They have turned me into a whiskey lover, I must say.
You've sold me.
All right.
I'm gonna have to come check out the next food truck night. Sounds like a lot of fun.
It really is.
Well, it sounds like there's a whole lot of really exciting stuff happening in Southern Rhode Island. If you're looking for something fun to do for the rest of the summer or the fall and beyond, if you just need something fun to do on the weekend, go check them out. You can go on their website or give them a call. Just see what's happening in Southern Rhode Island. Be a tourist in your own town.
Absolutely. I highly recommend it.
Well, Elizabeth Berman, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to all the fun events that are coming up in Southern Rhode Island. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in just 1 minute with our next guest here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center on GoLocal Live. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. We're here now with Pam Hyland. She's the CEO of Girl Scouts of Southern New England. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Rachel.
So tell us a little bit about what the council is up to. You recently, just a few years ago, had a name change from GSRI to Girl Scouts of Southeastern New England.
Right, yes. So we cover all of Rhode Island. We cover Pawcatuck, Connecticut, and about 13 communities in southeastern Massachusetts. So that's all gone very, very well. We have 4 camps within that jurisdiction, and those are all actively running right now, and kids are having an absolutely amazing time at our camps, doing all the things that they love, the swimming and the boating. There's a new kind of, it's not a kayak, but it's called a corkle. So the girls
I've never
are
heard
having
of that.
a great time on these corkles, and of course the high ropes course is always a huge adventure piece, as well as archery, etc. But they're having a great summer.
It absolutely is. It's a great time. I went to Girl Scout camp when I was younger. Have some very fond memories. And so, what are the camps we have here in Rhode Island? And we have Hoffman and Green Forest together down in South Kingston. We have Rocky Point in Newport.
Rocky Farm in Newport.
Yes. And
Promising Acres in Massachusetts, and Camp Quickie, which is up in the northwestern section. And that one now sports 3 yurts where girls can stay. Thanks to the Champlain Foundation and their generosity to help us build those. It's the first time they had funded yurts. So we're very excited about that, and girls are enjoying those as well.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
And the exciting thing is that one of those camps, Camp Hoffman, which is down near URI, we're going to be celebrating the 100th anniversary of that camp in 2021.
Wow, congratulations to you guys and to Camp
excited.
Hoffman.
We think it's the 3rd oldest Girl Scout camp in the entire country.
Wow, that's very impressive.
And I just met with a group of women who are in their 80s, 90s, even 100, who used to go to Camp Hoffman. So they're very excited too about having their gathering, their annual gathering at Camp Hoffman. We are looking for anyone who is an alum of Hoffman. And as George Schuster, our board chair, says, you know, you can just step foot on Hoffman and become an alum, because he wants to really welcome everyone. It's a beautiful camp, about 170 acres, and it's great.
It is. Yeah. It's a beautiful area, and that's so exciting. So what's planned for? Do you have the celebration planned yet, or are we still figuring out?
It's still a little bit out, but we are going to be doing things probably every month of that 2021 year. So what's happening before that, though, is the centennial of our Girl Scout Council. So Girl Scouts of the USA celebrated the centennial back in 2012. But in terms of Girl Scouting here in the Rhode Island area, we will turn 100 in 2019, this coming year.
So that's coming up very soon.
Very excited about that. So we will have one big event. The date is yet to be determined. But for sure, on the actual centennial, which is December of 2019, we will probably have a ceremony that will be happening throughout our jurisdiction, but done within smaller groups, within troops and within our service areas. So stay tuned for more on that. But think about it, 100 years of Girl Scouting in this community where we have been focused on girls only. We are chartered to serve girls only. We're a girl-only organization, and we really believe strongly in that commitment to make sure that girls can develop in their own space where their own voice can be developed and heard.
So in that line, how today can Girl Scouts stay relevant? 100 years is a really long time, and of course you have to change your approach to make sure you're still serving the girls and keeping them interested.
Right.
So how do you guys innovate?
Oh my gosh, I think that's been one of our hallmarks. So I was just saying earlier to someone here that Juliette Gordon-Low, the founder of our movement, she was such a visionary. She was only around for 15 years of the organization's tenure before she passed. But in the very first Girl Scout troop, she made sure that there were girls of all diverse economic strata. She had disabilities. She had kids from orphanages, those in homes. She wanted to make sure that we were diverse from the beginning. To me, our relevance is so much tied to our diversity because we really believe in serving all girls and exposing girls to people of all different, and in fact, I think as many of our troop leaders have said, it's the only place where their girls can really be exposed to people of differences, because very often within their schools, they only go within their geographic area. And within our troops, it can be girls from so many different opportunities. So I think that's one way. The other part, of course, is the relevancy of our uniform. We've changed that so many times. Where it's not been a good thing that we've changed so much is the name of our highest award in Girl Scouting, which is now the Gold Award. It used to be called the Golden Eaglet, and then it was the Curved Bar, and it was first class. Now it's the Girl Scout Gold Award. And because of that change, though it became relevant in terms of the terminology, it has hurt us a bit because people don't recognize what girls go through to earn this highest award. Girls have to choose an issue that's really important to them. It can't just be about building a bridge or building something. They have to identify an issue that's important to them. And then they take that issue, they identify a project that has to be sustainable, Rachel. It can't just be one and done. It's got to be a sustainable project. And that what girls have done here locally has been absolutely amazing. We're making deep impact in our communities. So that's part of the relevancy. The other part are our badges. I mean, right now, there's a whole new launch of some badges through Girl Scouts USA. We have some in robotics. We have, I've got a whole list here of all of it. We have Think Like an Engineer is one of them. Think Like a Computer Programmer.
So you're encouraging girls to go into more STEM fields and...
Right. So we have really 5 program arenas. STEM is one of them, and that's the one that probably from a relevancy standpoint has really been promoted over the last 5-6 years. I had a girl who was 4 years old who was coming to one of our events with her sister, who I actually could learn coding from by watching her.
Wow,
Girls
that is
are
very
ready
impressive.
For that. We've got to stay relevant. All of our technology in terms of how we run our office and leaders being able to do their training online, if we didn't keep up with the technology piece, we would long be gone. That is a critical thing. So we've always been about, we call it by girls, for girls. So our program is based on what girls want. So a good troop leader is actively engaging with her girls and saying, what is it that you want to explore? I remember years ago, some girls, when HIV first was something that came out, and nobody knew much about it. Girls in a troop were very, very curious, and their troop leader didn't shy away from a controversial issue. She let the girls learn about it. They ended up doing a Silver Award project around making quilts for children that were at a home called the Ferrano Home. All of their moms were HIV positive, and they were born either HIV positive themselves or born to moms who would soon die. These girls wrapped their whole project around learning about an issue that most people didn't want to talk about. So we remain relevant because we're willing to take on the issues that are important to our girls. It's girl-led.
And going off that, talking a little bit about higher awards, I know when I went to do my Silver Award and my Gold Award when I was a Girl Scout, there weren't many others like me. The older you get, the less people there are. Like when you're a Brownie, there's 20, 25 girls, and there's no shortage of people. But the older you get, like the less cool it seems, and the less interested people are. Going a little off the last question, how do you appeal to older girls as well and encourage them to stay a part of the organization?
One of the best ways we can do it is by women like yourself who were Girl Scouts who are cool. Okay, I'm not sure people are going to look at me and say that I'm cool.
I think you're very cool.
Well, thank you. But there are many women that they need to claim their Girl Scouting. They need to write on their LinkedIn that you are. I bet it's not in your LinkedIn. But I hope it will be.
It is on my resume.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great first step. So now on LinkedIn, you want to say that you earned the highest award in Girl Scouting, the Gold Award, which is a very small percentage of girls ever earn that. So when women are willing to claim their leadership and claim their honors and their recognition and say, yes, I was a Girl Scout, even though when we were growing up it might not have been cool. I stayed in through high school. It wasn't cool then, but there was something about it that I got that I couldn't get anywhere else. And I had experiences I never would have had it not been for Girl Scouts. So girls stay because of the fun. They stay because they're having opportunities they would never have anywhere else. Those are probably the number 2 reasons. And they love to travel. They love opportunities to travel. So those program areas that I talked about, STEM is one of them. Life skills that covers everything from healthy eating and exercise to bullying, domestic violence, all the issues that girls need to be aware of. We have entrepreneurism because girls are starting their very first business with the cookie program. And I cannot tell you how many women will say that they got their start in business because of the cookie program. We have global, and we took that on locally because we know that girls love to travel. And again, that diversity of connecting to people across our entire world. We are living in a global economy. We can't be afraid, and we need to embrace people of other cultures and get to know them. And then the last one, of course, is the out of doors, which is everything from camping to environmental education with all of these new eco badges that we now have. So yeah, we are definitely relevant and very proud to be part of this organization for myself since I was 9 years old, professionally since 1977. So yeah, I love it.
Very, very committed.
Yes, I am.
And so there was a little bit of controversy a few months ago with the Boy Scouts. They announced that they would be accepting Girl Scouts as well. And the message that seemed to come from it was Boy Scouts are letting Girl Scouts or letting girls do some of the things that maybe they didn't have the opportunity to in Girl Scouts. I know like there were more opportunities for outdoor things and more camping and different activities like that. And what was your reaction as a council and your rebuttal of no, you should stay in Girl Scouts instead?
Well, of course it's a girl choice, and we've always believed in that. We're teaching girls how to make decisions that are right for them. I believe that most girls are going to find that the right decision is to remain in the Girl Scouts. In terms of the programming, the high adventure, the camping, we do all of that. There's not a single thing that boys do that the girls aren't doing. Now, some of it depends on the troop that girls are in. They have a tendency to go off in one direction more than another. Parents can look up on our website on what's called the Opportunity Catalog, where troop leaders actually put a description of their troop, because again, it's based on what the girls want. So in some troops, it's really heavy outdoors. Others, it's heavy travel. So it's not that they don't do a little of everything, but they tend to focus on one thing more than another. Whereas again, I can't speak for the Boy Scouts, but I think the camping piece is probably more prevalent throughout every single troop. We have many that camp, but not necessarily every single girl. So there's not a single thing that they can't do in the Girl Scout that they could do there. But more importantly, Rachel, I mean, we have had over 107 years now nationally of building programs that are really relevant and meant for girls. It's based on research and what girls want and what they need. It's a place where they can really have their voice, and they're still in society. I can tell you right now, if I didn't feel there was a need for an all-girl organization based on the needs of girls only, I would be the first to say, you know, we could go away. That is just simply not the case. I mean, I know there are some very, very strong girls and women out there, so who maybe don't feel like they need to find a voice. They've already found their voice. Many have found their voice through the Girl Scouts. But there's still a tendency for girls to have to first raise their hand before they speak up. Boys don't do that generally. They will just shout out and answer. So again, girls can find that confidence and build that confidence in a program that is designed just for them. I know that for another reason is that parents may feel it's more convenient to drop their children off at the same place. So I just say that's certainly a consideration. But I would ask first that parents, if they're joining, I think there's some misunderstanding. I think some people feel that if they drop their children off at one place, that their daughters are going to get the Girl Scout program and the boys are going to get the Boy Scout program. That is not the case. We are not merging. I've had people say, are you merging? No, we're not merging. We're a very strong organization, and we're going to remain committed to our initial mission of serving girls and building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make our world a better place. And boy, have they made our world a better place.
So you'd say having just girl programs allows more of a safe space for girls to develop.
Yes, and it's not that they still won't do things in Girl Scouts. And over the years, you know, we've done some partnership programs with the Boy Scouts. So it wasn't like there was never that opportunity. But, and I know that in some cases people are saying that even the Boy Scouts, they'll still maintain single gender. Whether or not that will happen or not, I can't speak because I can't speak for them. But I do know that it's not just single gender, though that's a huge part of it. But again, our research and our programs are based on what girls need and want. And there's a very special safe space where you're going to say things to other girls you're not going to say in a co-ed environment. So, you know, so parents, if they just want to think about that, and again, it's a decision that has to be right for a family and for a girl, and I can't presume to know what that should be. I just know what we're all about, and I stand strong that we're the right place for girls.
Very well said.
Thank you.
And so is there anything else you want to add about what's coming up with Girl Scouts? And
Sure. So one other thing I'd like to mention is that you also mentioned how we maintain relevancy, and we have an event every year called our Leading Women of Distinction. This year it's going to be on October 16th at Skyline at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we are going to be honoring 5 women who really emulate what our mission is all about. That's another way that girls can see these women and say, because though it's not required that they have been a Girl Scout, in almost every situation they have been Girl Scouts. So it's really exciting for them to think back to the lessons that they learned when they were a Girl Scout. And it's interesting how people think, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. You know, the seed of their leadership began then. And seeds of leadership begin when children are young. And that's not that people can't grow into leadership when they're adults, but they have a much easier path forward if they begin those leadership skills when they're young. So I would encourage anybody who's interested, they could go onto our website and look up that event. We are going to be honoring 5 amazing women, and I would invite anybody to join us.
Great. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun and some great role models for our
Absolutely.
local scouts. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We
you
really
for
appreciate
having
it,
me.
shining some light on our local scouting
Thank
and
you.
local events. So we look forward to that. And so this is Pam Hyland. She's the CEO of Girl Scouts Southeastern New England. And thanks so much for joining us today. Kate will be back at 4 o'clock with more news and politics. So tune in then. For now, here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, I'm your GoLocal Live host, Rachel Nunes.